What advice would you give Deshaun Watson as somebody who once upon a time thought that the situation with the team that had drafted him was no longer tenable for him to play and win? What would you suggest Deshaun Watson do right now, Carson Palmer?
Well, I think you just got to stick to your guns. You know, if you're in it to get out, and he has realized that he's got to get out of there, and it's not, a winning combination with his skill set and the way he leads that team to get to a Super Bowl, then you got to stick to your guns. And if you said you're demanding a trade, you can't then go back and renegotiate how it can work out. You got to stick to your guns. I hope that he's got a destination in mind, because at the end of the day, he's not a free agent. He's asking to be traded, and so whoever has the biggest price tag as far as draft capital to give the Texans is where he's going to go. So, on one side of it, you got to stick to your guns, but you also got to be careful careful for what you wish for, because Houston's not a bottom tier organization, in my opinion. There could be worse situations to go into. And you just hope that if he's got 2 or 3 teams earmarked that he'd like to get to, and his agent can make that happen, that's great. And then Houston also gets a bunch of draft capital and starts the rebuild process themselves. But there's a couple places that you don't want to go, that at the end of the day, if he demands the trade and they have the most draft capital to give up, it may not be a better situation. So, the quote you've probably heard a million times, and Bruce has probably said a million times, there's a reason the grass is greener on the other side. So you got to be careful. There's more manure over there. You got to be careful where you end up. But if it can be one of the places that he's earmarked, then there's no doubt about it. He's a Super Bowl winning ability. And if he can get to the right place, be combined with the right coach, the right organization, then that's a player that can win a Super Bowl for your franchise, no doubt.
He does have a no trade clause, so he does have that in his back pocket as he's demanding the trade. So the question I have for you is, when you were going through it, did you ever think twice, like, maybe I need to figure out how to make it work here, or like how would you counsel him about the inner monologue that he's having?
Well, at one point, I knew a certain team was willing to give up multiple first-round picks, and when I was trying to get out of the Bengals situation, they weren't even willing to listen to the phone call, and so that was my barometer. I said, you know what? If they're not even willing to listen and hear the call, then they're not really trying to win the Super Bowl, and that was my point, and that was why I needed a change, and so. I just think, every situation is so unique and so different. I think, if he can stick to his guns and he's got that no trade clause, then it really could end up being a great situation for him to go to a place that he wants to go to, that's ready to win a Super Bowl.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.